Hefty G.
Look, man, I'm serious, okay? I saw this with my own eyes.
Oh, I believe you, buddy. I believe you. Just tell us a story. Tell us a story.
Okay, well, it was last Friday night. I was walking home from the bar, and this woman started coming towards me. She was staggering, you know, so I figured she was drunk.
One morning, someone at Capcom got up and knew that their job today would be of the utmost importance for the development of one of their company's biggest games. It would be monumental in its statement to other game developers about their standing in the industry, and in being the first thing players see in the game, it would cement the value of the product that they just purchased. This morning, this Capcom employee picked up a burger before he went into the office. It's no surprise that the opening scene of the Resident Evil 2 remake got people excited, but probably not in the way a lot of people anticipated. To their credit, Capcom knew this shit looked impeccable. I mean, look at it. It looks good.
I want to eat the TV.
I mean, I'm not sure if Gordon Ramsay would eat it, but my stoned ass most certainly would. And it's all pixels and polygons. I mean, what kind of timeline do we live in that Biff Tannen is president and we have burgers in our games that look this good? The answer is, of course, a very expensive timeline. Where the original Resident Evil 2 cost $1 million to develop over the course of a year, its remake cost a metric shitload more. Because even if we kept its budget at the 1996 original's budget of about $1 million, which is still unrealistic as hell for the 2019's game industry standard, you still gotta multiply that up by 5, because that's how many years it took for the RE2 remake to get developed. No matter how you cut it, game development is an expensive process nowadays, but it didn't always used to be. Games like Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, Whiplash, Dr. Muto, Aggressive Inline, Cold Winter. These are all games that, quite literally, not a single soul on Earth gives a single shit about, except maybe Nitro Rad. But they all got greenlit and released by AAA publishers anyway. Rest in peace, Midway. Sure, we get these now with stinkers like Rise, Son of Rome, but as an industry, with the price of game development being so high, we can't really afford the early aughts philosophy of seeing what sticks with players. Nowadays, they just focus test for that shit. We went from seeing passion projects like Silent Hill 2 changing the games industry forever to endless sequels and Silent Hill as a franchise getting shelved because people don't buy survival horror anymore. It's a zoo's share of bullshit, but it's understandable. I mean, why is Papa Activision gonna get you the Ferrari that is a new prototype game when you're all happy snuggling up with your Call of Duty Honda Civic Edition? The mentality for the current AAA games development culture is just that there's no point in throwing your money away. And of course that makes sense, but it's disheartening that all we really have to look forward to for gaming is just new developments and Skinner box technology to keep you reaching for your wallet for the newest skins. Luckily, we get the occasional bright spot for the fledgling game auteur in getting games like Death Stranding, but Hideo-san's got like 40 years in the industry and legions of fans begging for that kooky Kojima cock, so of course he got that blank check reputation. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we're getting experimental games like Second Sight with any more frequency than we did before, because it's just still not realistic to expect a budget for a AAA passion project in a climate where a lot of companies are lucky to just not be a part of EA. It kinda sucks too, because there's not really a solution to this problem. It's just kinda something we have to learn to live with. It really is the market we live in that fucks it up for us, but the good thing is there are workarounds. A photorealistic burger is expensive, but a stylized burger is a lot cheaper and quicker to produce. It might even look as good if you try hard enough. Hell, why not cell shade the sucker? It holds up better with time anyway, right? And if not that, why not try crowdfunding for a better looking burger? If your burger sounds tasty, I'm sure people will throw down to try it. Unless it's Mega Man Legends 3. We're never gonna get him off that planet, guys. The current AAA gaming industry is shaping up to be a lot like Hollywood, and that pretty soon it's gonna be hard to get films like Die Hard made, cause, hey man, Bruce Willis is a comedian, he's not an action hero. As opposed to being super easy to get movies like Lethal Weapon 4 made, cause there's a 4 in that fucking title, and you best believe that sequels are guaranteed profit. But if Kevin Smith can go and make an industry award-winning movie with Clerks off of a budget of maybe half an ounce of weed and free gum for the cast and crew, then people will still be able to make AAA visuals happen, even without that AAA budget. And failing that, really, who gives a shit? You don't necessarily need photorealism to make a great game. Indie studios have been proving that for years with pixel art and stylized graphics, and I for one don't mind playing games with PS2 graphics as long as the concept is strong enough. Long story short, the AAA industry has decided to suck its own pee-pee with this realism shtick, but I personally think that it's gonna blow up in their face. Giggity. Unless they take steps to curb the rising costs of game development, they might actually force the industry into a crash like back in the 70s. I mean, granted, they have tried to curb the costs a little bit with stuff like procedural game development and pre-optimized engines to curb the brunt of the cash use, but that kind of stuff doesn't really help too much when you're chasing that true-to-life looking burger. All you can really do for that is just throw money at a team until it looks that good. Personally, I can't wait to see how the AAA industry shapes up to look in a couple years. We're at the brink of a new console generation, and games like Cyberpunk 2077 still show some kind of passion, regardless of its budget. So let's see how it goes. But remember, that burger doesn't have to look good for it to be tasty. And that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching so far. I hope you enjoyed it. If not, then fuck you. But if you did, I'm anxious to know what you thought about it. Just leave me a comment down below on your point of view, and toss me a like if you don't feel like writing. But till next time, see you later.
Let me know if you have another flea market. I will help you, or you will help me.
You got that right, teacher. Thanks a lot.